Hello again. John Wesley Bready is now on his deathbed, and this subhead is A Last Retrospect. Wesley's life extended into all the decades of the 18th century. To many of his followers, it must have seemed incredible that ever he should leave them. His person appeared to them the symbol and embodiment of all that was immortal. Yet the days even of holy men were numbered, and the sands of his life were fast running out. On Tuesday, February 22nd, 1791, he preached at the City Road Chapel and conferred with his leaders, but he was not well. Up at 4 the following morning, he traveled to Leatherhead, where in the home of a magistrate he preached from the text, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found." It was his last sermon. On Thursday he visited an old friend, Mr. Wolfe, at Balham, spending the night with him. On Friday he was hurried back to his London rooms in the City Road, a stricken man. With difficulty he mounted the stairs to his chamber. Premonitions told him that he would mount those familiar stairs no more. Immediately Bessie Ritchie had a blanket about him, and he was seated in an easy chair. Friends already were clustering around, desiring to serve him. Calmly and graciously he bestowed upon them his blessing. Then, emphatically, he requested to be left alone. For at least half an hour no one must enter his chamber, not even his faithful confidant, Joseph Bradford, or Dr. Whitehead, his physician. For 53 years past, the central doctrine of Wesley's preaching was that men are saved by faith. But the corollary of that doctrine, he taught, was that they should be judged by their works. And now he who had spent his long life in leading a nation to God was himself about to stand before the eternal judge. No sooner was the chamber door closed than the deeper impressions of his life began to surge in rapid sequence across his mind. As with one in a trance, time and space were gone. Now subjectively, now objectively, all passed in fleeting review. Again a child of 5, the old man felt himself a brand plucked from the burning, staring wildly from his rescuer's arms to see the blazing roof of Epworth Parsonage crash into a furnace of flames. That's referring to the most outstanding event of his childhood, when he was seemingly miraculously rescued from a house fire. Again he heard his mother's soft voice explaining to him the mysteries of the Spirit. "Your rescue from the fire, Jackie, was wrought by the hand of God. Providence has sealed you for his own." How often had he heard those words from his mother's lips? The scene changed. Charterhouse, school, Oxford, the Holy Club loomed before him. The Holy Club, very sincere had been that band of legal zealots struggling with monkish ardor to hammer out their salvation by ascetic habits and rites. Their faith was that of servants, though, not sons. His mind sped on to Georgia, that is, America. Sophie Hopke, that capable, sprightly, lovely girl. Little had he understood her. And his squabbles with his parishioners, and his stern sacerdotalism, that is, priestly ways that were inherited from his Anglican background. He was a clergyman already when he was converted, remember. How well have I been since beaten with my own stick, he mused. The panorama swept back to England, a soul in anguish, groping for light. Then appeared Peter Bowler with his tender patience and his quiet communion with Christ. "Preach faith till you have it," implored the young Moravian missionary of the Donish priest, of the Donish priest, whose sophistication and sacerdotalism had obscured the simple truth. Aye, Bowler's example and advice had indeed been a lamp to his feet. For the thousandth time he thanked God that the youthful pietist had crossed his path. It's referring to the influence of the Moravians on him in those early years, in the late 30s, 1730s and early 1740s, and his visit to Germany. More of his deathbed musings next time.